Hey guys, I got a couple of people who showed interest in the 2003 NLCS Game 6, Florida Marlins at Chicago Cubs, the infamous Steve Bartman game. So I'm going to go ahead and try to play that now. And in Strat-o-matic, I'm going to use the advanced rules only. I think I might actually accidentally hybrid a super advanced rule when it comes to steals. I'm not really sure without looking in the rule book, but it's just a comfortable way that I found to play. So we'll be at least using the advanced rules and maybe a sneak in a smidgen of the others. But anyway, that's the Steve Barton game, Game 6 of the 2003 NLCS, and we'll get going with this very shortly. Okay, let's meet the starting lineups for the Florida Marlins in this game. Leading off will be the center fielder Juan Pierre. Batting second will be the second baseman Luis Castillo. Batting third is Pudge Ivan Rodriguez, and he'll be doing the catching. Batting cleanup will be the right fielder, now first baseman for Detroit, Miguel Cabrera. Hitting fifth will be first baseman Derek Lee. Hitting sixth will be third baseman Mike Lowell. Batting seventh will be Jeff Conine the Barbarian in left field. Batting eighth will be the shortstop Alex Gonzalez. And batting ninth and pitching for the Marlins will be Carl Pavano. For the Cubs, leading off in center field will be Kenny Lofton. Batting second and playing second base is Mark Grudzielanek. Batting third in right field is Sammy Sosa. Batting fourth and playing left field in a big role is Moises Alou. Batting fifth and playing third base is Aramis Ramirez. Batting sixth and playing first base is Randall Simon. Batting seventh and playing shortstop is the other Alex Gonzalez. He's actually listed as Alex S. Gonzalez to tell them apart, and he'll be playing shortstop and hitting seventh. Batting eighth and catching will be Paul Bacco. And batting ninth and pitching will be Mark Pryor. And of course, this is Game 6, Florida and Chicago. Okay, guys, Mark Pryor is on the hill, ready to go. And stepping up to the plate is the center fielder for the Marlins and leadoff hitter Juan Pierre. So we'll see what happens here with Pryor dishing to Pierre, opening pitch. It is a 2-5. So on Juan Pierre, a 2-5 against right-handed pitching is a split chance. 1-7 is a triple, and 8-20 is a single. So Pierre off to a good start. So we'll see what the D20 says on this opening split chance. Pierre is looking for anything 7 and below. And it is an 11, so it's just a single. It's a single star, but no one's on base, so Pierre reaches on the leadoff single. And of course, he is a threat to run, and his stealing rating is a AA. So if we look at the stealing chart on the advanced rules, the stealing chart is the same as on the basic rules, except for a couple of notations that have to be made. You can see that Pierre is a AA, has a 1 through 17 chance, but then there has to be some reductions to take place. First reduction is the fact that he's being held on, and the fact he's being held on, a AA rating is a -1, so that takes him down to a 16. Then we have to factor in the catcher throwing rating and the pitcher holding rating of both Mark Pryor and Paul Bacco. So Pryor, on his card, his hold rating is a -1. So that takes him down to a 15. Bacco, with his throwing rating, Bacco is rated neutral. He's a 0, so that's not going to change anything as far as Pierre goes for that. So with everything considered, we're looking at a 1 through 15 to steal, and those are pretty good odds. So we're going to give it a shot here. Juan Pierre is going to attempt to steal second base here right off the bat. So we'll see if he is successful. 1 through 15, he has done it. It is a 19. He has been thrown out by Paul Bacco. So Pierre caught stealing. We're going to call it 2-6. So the odds were in his favor, as a famous movie line says, but it did not work out this time. Those are the chances you take even when you think the odds are in your favor. How about that? That's the agony of the D20 sometimes. All right, here's Luis Castillo to start things off again. Now that the bases are empty and one out against Pryor. And it's a 6-5. So now we're under Pryor's card. Castillo is a left-handed or switch hitter, so he's batting left this time. So column 6, row 5 is a strikeout. So Pryor, inspired by the stolen base, has come back to strike out Luis Castillo. They are quickly 2 away, and that brings up the catcher, Ivan Rodriguez. So we'll see what he can do with 2 outs and the base is empty. There's the pitch. It's a 1-10, so we're off Rodriguez's card. A 1-10 is a foul out to the catcher. There is a upside down triangle next to that, which indicates the rules for stadium rules, stadium effects. But in this game, I wasn't going to use them, but I probably ought to. So I'm going to pause this video and go get the effects chart for Wrigley Field, and we'll institute that so that we'll see if we get a different result rather than the foul out. Okay, so this is the weather effects chart for the 2003 season National League. And as we look at Chicago Wrigley Field, it says it's not very good. It says 1-2 for a single, and anything else is a line out. Rodriguez is a right-handed hitter, so it'd be a line out to short on a 3 through 20, or 1 through 2 he would get a single. So we'll try the D20 and see if he can roll a 1 or 2. Otherwise, he's going to be out. So let's take a look here. It is a 7. He is out. Instead of a pop out to the or foul out to the catcher, it's actually going to be a line out to the shortstop according to the rules of the ballpark effects. So either way you go, it's 3 outs. So the Marlins are done here in the first. After that leadoff single, the stolen base kind of killed the momentum. And after a half inning here at Wrigley, it's the Marlins nothing and the Cubs coming to bat. Okay, Carl Pavano will take the hill for the Marlins here in Game 6, and he'll be facing Kenny Lofton of the Cubs to lead things off. So another speedster, almost in the same pattern as a Juan Pierre. So we'll see what Pavano can do and see if he can keep Lofton off the bases. And the pitch is a 1-7, a 1-7 on Lofton against right-handed pitching. It's a ground ball, first base A+. The plus only has to deal if the infield is in. So it's a ground ball to first. Scooped up by Derek Lee. Takes it unassisted, 1 away. And Pavano's off to a good start. Now it's second baseman Mark Grudzielanek. It's a 3-9. 3-9 on Grudzielanek. 3, row 9 against the right-handed pitcher is a strikeout. So Grudzielanek goes down on strikes, 2 down very quickly, and that'll bring up the somewhat controversial Sammy Sosa. 2 out, space is empty. It's a 5-9, so we're not going to go off Sosa's card. We're going to go off Pavano's card against right-handed pitching. A 5 and 9. It does have a chance for a home run. You see a split chance there. It says 1-8 for a home run, 9-20 for a double. So it's a 1-8 possibility for Sammy Sosa to hit a home run to start things off here for the Cubs in the scoring column. So we'll see if the D20 allows it. We need a 1-8 for a homer. Anything else is a double, which is still not bad. And it's a 2. So Sammy Sosa, it might be, it could be. It is a home run. Holy cow. And the Cubs take a 1-0 lead off of that split chance. So Pavano serves it up. Don't know if there were any extra chemicals to help that besides the bat, but we shall see. Now that I bring up Moises Alou. A 1-9. Alou against a right-hander, 1-9 is a single. Single to center field to be specific. So Alou gets a single, 2-out single. He's not a threat to steal, so he's not going anywhere. And that'll bring up Aramis Ramirez, the recently retired Aramis Ramirez. And the pitch is a 3-5. 3-5. Aramis Ramirez, 3-5 is a strikeout. So Pavano comes back to strike out Ramirez to end the inning. But thanks to the Sammy Sosa D20 roll, he has put the Cubs on the board with his home run. And at the end of one, it's the Cubs 1 and the Marlins nothing. Okay, top of the second. And to save time, I'm going to not keep panning the camera to the cards. I'm just going to read them off as they happen. It's Mark Pryor against Miguel Cabrera. It's a 1-6, and a 1-6 is a split chance as well for Cabrera. 1-10 is a home run, and 11-20 is a double. So we'll see if the D20 is kind to the Marlins. Cabrera needs a 1-10. And he gets it. It's an 8. So Miguel Cabrera has just tied the ball game with a home run of his own. And now we're tied at 1. And the Cub fans not too happy about that. That'll bring up former Cub Derek Lee. Derek Lee, first baseman. 5-8. 5-8 is off Pryor's card. That is a ground ball second base X. So we have our first defensive check of the game is the second baseman. And for the Cubs, that is Mark Grudzielanek. So we're going to check Grudzielanik's rating. And Grudzielanek is a 3 on a range rating and an E12 on the error rating. So a 3 is the main number we're focused on. So we're going to roll the D20 under the column 3 for second base. D20 is a 16. A 16. If we come over to second base and look at column 3 and scroll down to 16, we see it says is a ground ball C. Now C doesn't make any difference because there's no one on base. Had that been someone on base, it would have been the batter being out and the runners advancing. But in this case, it's just simply a 4-3 ground out. So Grudzielanek was able to make that play. There is now one away. And third baseman Mike Lowell, the batter. Mike Lowell. Lowell, all 4s, 4-8. 4-8 is a split chance. 1-2 is a single. Anything else, it's a line out to second base. So Lowell needs a 1-2. And he gets it. He gets a 1. So that's a base hit. Base hit from Mike Lowell. Snuck it through there. Got past Grudzielanek for the base hit. It's runner on first and 1 out. And Jeff Conine, the batter. And that's a 3-9. And a 3-9 for Conine is a fly ball right field B. So it's deep. It's got a question mark on it. So it's a possible sacrifice fly if a runner was on third. But with Lowell, who doesn't run very well on first, he's not going anywhere. So it's simply a fly ball to right. 2 down. And that'll bring up the first Alex Gonzalez. This is the one without the S. Just plain old Alex Gonzalez. He will step to the plate. And it's a 2-9. A 2-9 is a strikeout against right-handed pitching. So that ends the inning. The Cubs do tie it on, the Marlins do tie it on the Cabrera home run. And at the end of an inning and a half here at Wrigley, it is the Marlins 1 and the Cubs 1. Now stepping to the plate for the Cubs is the first baseman, Randall Simon. Randall Simon, lefty hitter against righty pitcher. Randall Simon. It is a 5-5. Pavano against left-handed hitting. 5-5 is a fly ball to right field B. But with no one on base, the B doesn't matter. So there's one away. And that will bring up the other Gonzalez, Alex S. Gonzalez. See, they call him Alex S. Gonzalez. So Gonzalez at bat, and it's a 1-7, which in this case is a split chance. 1-4 is a single, and anything else is a line out to the third baseman Lowell. So we'll see what happens. Gonzalez wants a 1-4. He doesn't get it. It's a line out to third baseman Lowell for 2 down. And that'll bring up the light-hitting catcher, Paul Bacco. Used to be Greg Maddox's personal catcher back when he was with the Braves. So here's Bacco. And it's 1-7. 1-7 for Bacco is a strikeout. So the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs here in the second. And after 2 complete, it's the Marlins 1 and the Cubs 1. Okay, top of the third, and for both spots of the batting order, we are at the pitcher spot. And since the set for 2003 that I have did not have the extra players included, which means they don't have any of the pitcher hitters cards, we use the generic hitting cards that came with the set. And they are rated, I believe it's 1 through 12 as far as their proficiency in batting. And according to what I was looking at here, the Carl Pavano is going to use pitcher hitting card number 1, which is the worst of all the cards. Mark Pryor did get a bump to number 4, which has a few more chances on it. So that's what we're going to go with right now is Carl Pavano is leading things off against Pryor. It's to his advantage to work this off of Pryor's card if he possibly can. Let's see. He did. It's a 4-12 off Pryor's card. 4-12 is a ground ball first base X. So at least we got a rating, error rating check to make, or range check. First baseman Randall Simon for the Cubs. Let's see what his range and error rating is. He's a range rating of 4, which is not very good. So this is a good chance maybe for the pitcher Pavano to get a cheap hit here. So we'll see. Range rating of 4. D20 roll is a 10. But he got a break because on the chart, if you roll anything from a 7 to a 15, the range rating is not in effect when you go to error rating. So the error rating on Simon is an E11. So if you look at E11, which is, oh, there it is, E11 right there. Those are the results that we're going to roll 2 D6s for to find out what happens. So 2 D6s are going to need to be rolled here. And we get a 5. So E11 and a 5. E11 and roll a 5. Well, it says 3 to 6 is an E1 along with a 12. So Randall Simon has just made an error, and Pavano reaches on the error by Randall Simon to start the third inning. So Randall Simon, not exactly known for his glove, and it comes back to haunt him on this roll. And now we've got a leadoff batter on, albeit the pitcher. And that'll bring up the top of the order, Juan Pierre. He singled and was caught stealing his first time up to lead the ball game off. It's a 1-10. A 1-10 is a ground ball third base B. That means that on a ground ball B, that the runner on first is out, batter is safe. So that's a fielder's choice. And that actually does not bad for the Marlins because that puts the fast Juan Pierre back on the bases and takes the slow-running Pavano off the bases. So that was a 5-4 fielder's choice for out number 1. Now we're in the same boat we were to start the game. Do we try a Pierre steal? Do we try a Pierre steal? The odds are still the same. So, and I believe we figured those out to be a 1 through 15, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to try it again. First you don't succeed, you try again. So Pierre's going to try to Bacco again. And he's out again. In 18, he was done in by the D20 once again. So he is caught stealing for the second time. Unbelievable. And now there's 2 out spaces empty for Luis Castillo. So Paul Bacco definitely making an impact in this game, or at least the D20 is anyway. Here's Castillo. It's a 5-8. 5-8 against a left-handed batter for Pryor as a ground ball second base with an X rating again. So we're going to check Grudzalonic, which we've done before, he's a 3 rated range. So we're going to check the 3 range on the D20. And that is a 12, which is outside of the range because 8 through 12 does not factor range. It goes straight to error. His error rating is a 12, so we're going to roll 2 d6s for the 12 and see what happens. E12. It's a 4 and a 4. E12, 4 under second base. E12 says that it's an E1, so that's the second error of the inning. Castillo reaches on the error by Grudzalonic, and the inning is still going on now for Pudge Rodriguez. He will be up. Castillo's a decent base stealer, but we're not, after what's happened the last 2 times with Pierre, we're not going to try it now. So here's Rodriguez, and his roll is a 3-5. 3-5 is a potential split chance. 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a double. And there's no stars, so if he does double, we do have a chance of sending Castillo home. So let's see. 1-2 is a triple. Anything else is a double. Oh, he just missed the triple. It's a double. It's a double for Rodriguez. So he doubles. It does not say where it goes. The rules say if the card doesn't specify, then we assume it to be to center field. Lofton in center field has a throw rating of +1, which is not very good. The running rating for Castillo is 1-17, and with 2 outs, well, he's being held, so that's going to knock him down 2, so that's a 1-15, but with 2 outs, that's going to counteract that. So we're back to a 1-17. 1-17, and then the +1 for Lofton makes it 1-18. So anything other than a 19 or 20, and Castillo will score. And he does score. So the unearned run comes in. That error by Grudzalonic cost him, and the Marlins take a 2-1 lead thanks to the double by Ivan Rodriguez. Rodriguez did not take third on the throw. He stayed where he was at second base. Brings up Miguel Cabrera, who homered his last time up. First base is open, but they're not going to walk him. They're just going to go ahead and take their chances. And here's the pitch. It's 3-7. The 3-7 is a strikeout. Strikeout. 3-7 is a strikeout. Now, if I was using super advanced rules, which I am not, the super advanced rules have something they call clutch. And in this situation, that 3-7 strikeout had a clutch symbol by it, and it would have been a base hit. But I'm not using those rules in this game, so no clutch ratings for me in this game. I'm just going to keep it as simple as possible. So it's a strikeout. But just wanted everybody to see that had we been using the clutch ratings, it would have been an RBI single, or at least a single and probably an RBI. But anyway, that's the end of the inning. Marlins pick up an unearned run, and after 2.5 here at Wrigley, it's the Marlins 2 and the Cubs 1. And Mark Pryor will lead it off, and he's using pitching card number 4 to hit. But he's going to hope he gets something off of Pavano. And he does. It's a 4-6. But it's a strikeout, so that didn't help him any. He struck out anyway. 1 down. There was a dot by that strikeout result, but Pavano is far from being tired, so it's a regular strikeout. Now we're back to the top of the order, and Kenny Lofton, he grounded to first his first time up. It's a 1-5, and a 1-5 for Lofton is a fly ball to right for out number 2. So quickly 2 away as Pavano is taking charge here. And Mark Grudzalonic, who made that big error the last inning, is up. He struck out his first time up, so he is not having a good day. It's a 4-6, and off Pavano's card, a 4-6 is a strikeout. That same strikeout dot that he got prior on, but he's not at the point of weakness, so it's a strikeout. Inning over, 3 up, 3 down. Grudzalonic continues to struggle. And at the end of 3, from Wrigley, it is the Marlins 2 and the Cubs 1. Derek Lee to lead things off for the Marlins. It's a 6-7, A 6-7 from Pryor is a strikeout. So Pryor strikes out Lee, 1 away, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Mike Lowell. Mike Lowell. Lowell, step up. And Lowell, a 4-5 is off of Pryor's card. That is a split chance. 4-5, 1-4 is a home run. 5-20 is a double. So let's see what happens here. The D20 has been very influential in this game. So let's see. It is a 16, so it's a double for Mike Lowell. No home run, just a double. Still not bad. 1-out double for Lowell. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Jeff Conine, with a chance to drive home Lowell here with only 1 out. And it's a 6-9. 6-9 is a ground ball shortstop X. So now we need to check the range rating of the original Alex Gonzalez without the S. Or this is the one with the S. I get confused. Let's take a look here. This is the one with the S. This is the S Gonzalez. So he's a 2 range rating and a 12 error rating. So 2 range ratings, not bad. It's pretty good. See if he can get to this ball. D20 is an 8 and a short. I just missed the range. 8 to 12. We do not check the range rating. We go to the error rating. So in that case, the error rating for Mr. Gonzalez is 12. So we're going to check a 12 error rating via the 2d6s. 2d6s, not 3, it's 2. Okay, here we go. It is a 10 and a 10 under the shortstop. An E12. 10 is a ground ball A. Ground ball A. That means that it would have been a double play had a runner been on first, but with the runner on second, the runners have to hold. So with the ball hit in front of him, Lowell has to hold at second base. Conine is out 6-3. And now with 2 outs, that brings up the other Alex Gonzalez, the original Alex Gonzalez. He is the number 8 hitter, and they do have Pavano on deck, so they could intentionally walk him to get to the pitcher. But they want the pitcher to lead off next inning, so we're going to let him pitch to Gonzalez. Take his chances. It's a 5-3. 5-3 is a ground ball back to the pitcher. Ground ball pitcher X. Ground ball pitcher X. So now we're going to check, see what kind of range Pryor has. He's listed as a 5, which is not good. So we'll see what the D20 has to say about it. It's a 13, which is, fortunately for Pryor, out of range. So we're going to check his error rating. But his error rating is a 21, so that may not be good either. We shall see what happens here. And let's see what we get for the error rating. We get an 8. An 8 on an E21 for the pitcher. Pitcher E21. E21. An 8 is an an 8 is a 7 through 9 is the ground ball. So it's a ground ball A. So he just missed making an error. He did get the out. It's the 3rd out of the inning, so it's just simply a 1-3 put out. Pitcher to first. Inning's over. Cubs escape any damage there. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 2-1 in favor of the Marlins. And up leading off for the Cubs here in the 4th is Sammy Sosa, the man responsible for the only run of the game so far for the Cubs. He's going to try to get something going again here in the 4th. Rolls a 2-7. 2-7 for Sosa. He just missed a home run. 2-6 would have been a home run. 2-7's a split chance, double or a single. 1-9 is a double. Anything else is a single. He gets a single. He missed the double, so it's a single for Sosa. To start things off, he's 2 for 2. Don't know if that was roid induced or not, but he's 2 for 2. And that'll bring up Moises Alou. He singled his first time up also. It's a 1-5, and a 1-5 split chance. Split chance, 1-5 is 1-7 single. Anything else is a line out to second. It is a 16. It's a line out to second base. So Alou lines out to Castillo at second for out number 1. Sosa holds at first base. And now we bring up third baseman Aramis Ramirez, or Aramis Ramirez, I think is how it's actually pronounced. Aramis Ramirez. We get a 4-9, and a 4-9 for Pavano off of right-handers is another split chance. 1-9 is a double. 10-20 is a single. Now, they're both stars, so if the double does occur, Sosa will have to stop at third base. But we shall see. 1-9 is a double. Anything else is a single. It is a 8, which is a double. So Ramirez doubles, but with the star-star effect, Sosa will have to stop at third base. He will not be able to try to score. But the Cubs have runners at second and third with only 1 out. And Randall Simon, the batter. Marlins will play the infield back. They're not going to want to give up a big inning here. So let's see what Simon does. 6-8. 6-8 is a pop out to second base. So Simon could not advance the runners. He popped up to Castillo for out number 2. And now we move on to Alex S. Gonzalez, the other Gonzalez. And he's up with runners at second, third, and 2 outs. So we'll see what Pavano does with Gonzalez. It's a 2-7. A 2-7 is a ground ball shortstop A. And that was a plus, but we didn't have the infield in, so it didn't matter. So it's a ground ball to shortstop to end the inning. And the threat goes for naught. So after 4 complete from Wrigley in the Steve Bartman Bowl, it is the Marlins 2 and the Cubs 1. Okay, top of the 5th, it'll be Carl Pavano, the pitcher, to lead things off. He actually reached on an error his first time up. He's hitting off pitcher card number 1, which is the lowest rated hitting card there is. So he's hoping for a chance off of Pryor's card. But he has to hit off his own, 3-4. 3-4 is, well, it's not a strikeout, it's a ground ball back to the pitcher. So it's a 1-3 put out there, 1 away. And now back to the top of the order, and Juan Pierre, who has uncharacteristically been caught stealing twice. He singled twice and got caught stealing twice. Now the question is, if he singles again, do we try it a third time? Pierre. It's a 2-7. 2-7 is a single to center field, so we get our chance. There's no way he can be thrown out 3 times, right? That just can't happen. So we're going to trust that that's not going to happen. So therefore, again, with the 1-15 opportunity, he's safe on a 1-15. Anything 16, 17, 18, or 20, 19 or 20 is the only thing that can get him out. So we're trying it again. We want a 16 or less. I'm sorry, a 15 or less for Pierre. So we're going to try it. And he gets it this time. He does steal second base. So Pierre not giving up, steals second base with that roll, and now he's in scoring position for Luis Castillo. Castillo, a 4-10. 4-10 is a fly ball to center field. However, it does have the upside down triangle on it, which means we go to the ballpark effects. But as we've seen before, the only chance for a base hit is a 1 through a 2. So 1 to 2 is the only chance we have here. And it is he got it. It's a 2. How do you like that? He got the base hit. It is a 2 of all things. So it's a base hit. Now the question is, does Pierre score? Let's see. Pierre is a run rating of 17. He was being held on, so that takes him down to a 16. The center fielder Lofton is a +1, so that's a 17. So he's got a 1 to 17 chance of being safe here. So let's see. 1 to 17. He should score, and he does. So Pierre, thanks to the Luis Castillo ballpark effect single, scores to make it 3-1 Marlins. 3-1 Marlins. The Z20 has not been kind to either team thus far, but it's helping the Marlins out a little bit more now. So now that'll bring up Ivan Rodriguez. Rodriguez is up to the plate. It's a 1-7. 1-7 is a fly ball to center field for out number 2. 2 down for Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera steps up with Castillo at first base and 2 outs. And that will bring up Cabrera, who's homered and struck out in this game. It's a 6-7, and he strikes out again. 6-7, he strikes out one more time. So the Marlins pick up the run, and at the end of 4.5, it is the Marlins 3 and the Cubs 1. And due up for the Cubs is Paul Bacco. Paul Bacco, who was the number 8 hitter, so there's a chance that they may pinch hit for Pryor here. Although you hate to remove him from the game this early. So we'll see. If Bacco gets on, he could always bunt. So let's see here. It's a 5-6. 5-6 is a fly ball to center field, so Bacco did not get on. We're going to go ahead and let Pryor hit here, even though he's down 3-1. Don't really trust the Cub bullpen all that well. So Pryor is going to hit. And it's a good thing we did let him hit because it's off Pavano's card. 4-4. 4-4 is a ground ball to third base with an X rating, so we got to check Mike Lowell. Mike Lowell's range rating is a 2, which is pretty good. There's a good chance he'll field this. So let's see here. It's an 18. An 18. Third base. 18. Number 2 is a ground ball A. So Lowell made the play, 5-3. Quickly 2 away. Top of the order for Kenny Lofton. Lofton, a 4-2. 4-2 is a split chance. 1-5 is a single. Anything else is a line out to second. It's a line out to second, and the inning is over. So nothing doing for the Cubs here in the 5th. After 5 complete in Bartman Bowl, it is the Marlins 3 and the Cubs 1. Derek Lee to start the 6th against Pryor. It is a 6-9, and 6-9 is a ground ball to shortstop with an X rating, so we do need to check the range rating again for Alex Gonzalez. This is the S. Gonzalez, and he's going to air a range rating of 2, which is pretty good, so it's a good chance he'll make this play. And the roll is a 2, but this time he did not make the play. Look at this. A 2 rating and a 2 roll is a single. So that time it got through. So Lee with a base hit, the D20 not kind to the Cubs that time. So Derek Lee leads off with a base hit. And that brings up Mike Lowell. And now the Cubs bullpen may start to stir a little bit. They may start to stir just a tad. So let's see here. Lowell to pitch. It is a 4-6. A 4-6 is a split chance. 1-3 is a triple. 4-20 is a double. So let's see what happens here. It's a double. So Lowell with a double, and with nobody out, they're going to hold Lee at third base. So runners are at second and third with nobody out. And don't know how much longer we can go with Mark Pryor here. We do have activity in the bullpen for the Cubs. It looks like it's we got right-hander Joe Borowski warming up in the bullpen. So let's see what happens here. Runners at second and third, nobody out. They're going to have to bring the infield in because they don't want to give up any more cheap runs if they can avoid it. So Jeff Conine is the batter with the infield in. It's a 1-7. A 1-7 says a single to center field. So, but that didn't matter whether the infield was in or not. It's just a single to center field. So Conine singles. That brings in Lee. Lowell will stop at third base. Make it a 4-1 ball game now. And that'll bring up Alex Gonzalez, the original Alex Gonzalez. And that's going to do it for Pryor. They can't leave him in there any longer. He's going to exit the ball game. And it looks like he's going to be replaced here by the right-hander, Joe Borowski. Check that, it's not going to be Borowski. It's going to be Antonio Alfonseca. So Antonio Alfonseca, Borowski's actually their closer, so we're not going to use him. It is Antonio Alfonseca. Alfonseca will come on. He is your new pitcher. So while we go to the bullpen and get everything straight, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back with Fonseca on the hill. The line on Pryor, he pitched 5+ innings, gave up 11 hits. Don't know about the runs yet because he's got 2 runners that are his responsibility. So far he's given up 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. The only good part is he didn't walk anybody and did strike out 5. So here is Gonzalez, runners at the corners, infield's at double play depth trying to turn the double play. So we'll see what Alfonseca can do here. 6-4 for Alfonseca. 6-4 is a fly ball center field X. So Lofton is a 3 in the range category. Lofton is a 3. Of course, by this time he had kind of gotten up in age a little bit, so he wasn't covering as much ground. So now we need to flip the chart to the center field position and roll the D20 off of a range rating of 3. It's a 6. Range rating 3 for center field, and a 6 is a single star. So that will bring in Lowell. Conine will motor to third base as the Marlins look to blow this thing open here. Gonzalez with a base hit. That run is charged to Pryor, of course. The only good thing now for the Cubs is we got the pitcher spot, Pavano up, but he's going to be looking to bunt, strictly to move Gonzalez over to second base. So a bunt play is on, which means we're going to use the advanced bunt chart. Advanced strategy chart. Bunt. Bunt is not a squeeze, it's a sacrifice. And the bunt rating for Pavano, he is listed as an A bunter. So pretty good chance he'll be able to get the job done here. And we'll roll and see for sure. It's a 4. 4 under A, it says batter beats out bunt. Runner advances 1 base. So how about that? He beat the bunt out and got a hit out of it when he was just trying to sacrifice. That will score Conine and move Gonzalez to second base. Now we can close the book on Pryor because all the runners that were on base have scored against him now. He has given up 6 runs and 5 earned in 5+ innings. So Alfonseca gives up the inherited runners pretty quickly here. And now that will bring up back to the top of the order for Juan Pierre. Juan Pierre, he is 3 for 3 in this game, 3 singles. Can't steal this time though because he's got 2 runners ahead of him. So we'll see. He could bunt, but I think we're just going to let him swing away. And it is a 2-8. A 2-8 is a single star. So that means the runners advance 2 bases on the single, which means Gonzalez will score. Pavano will move to third. Pierre is now 4 for 4. And that makes it, unfortunately for the Cubs now, a 7-1 ball game. Quickly getting out of hand here. Being at 7-1, we're not going to have Pierre try to steal. So Castillo is up. Still nobody out, by the way. Chance to bat around, perhaps. And it's a 6-8. 6-8 off of Alfonseca's card is a single star. So they keep on keeping on. Castillo singles. Pierre goes to third base. Pavano comes in to score. That's the 5th run of the inning. And it's now 8-1 with 2 on and nobody out still. And Ivan Rodriguez. And we don't know how much longer Alfonseca is going to be around. Here is Rodriguez. It's a 5-9. A 5-9 is a strikeout. Strikeout, finally. Finally getting out here. It's a strikeout. It is a strikeout. All right. Now that brings up Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera, runners at the corners and 1 out, infield double play depth. It is a 4-12. A 4-12 is a ground ball, first base X. So we have to check on Randall Simon, who we know from prior does not have very good range. I believe he's a 4 rated, which he is. So this is a chance that might sneak into the outfield. We'll see. And it's a 15. So a 15, and we have to check first base. 15 is out of the range, so that helps Simon a little bit. We go to his E rating, which is an 11. So we roll the 2d6s to check the error. It's a 3. A 3 on an E11. A 3 on an E11. First base, E11. 3 is unfortunately an error. For a 1-base error. So Simon commits the error. That's his second of the game. That will score Pierre and move Castillo to second. And now that is run number 6 in the game. Makes it a 9-1 lead. And now Cabrera is on first after that. So we go back to Derek Lee, who led off the inning with a single, so he gets to bat again. And Al Fonseca is going to be lifted here, and we'll be back after the pitching change. Okay, Dave Veras is now in for the Cubs to try to stem the tide if possible. Derek Lee is the first batter he will face. He led off the inning with a single and scored earlier, so he's batting for the second time. And we'll see what happens here. It's a 2-6. A 2-6 is a split chance for Derek Lee. 1-16 is a double. 17-20 is a single. So it's a good chance for a double, which he gets. So Derek Lee with a double, and that will bring in Castillo from second base. His run will still be earned. It'll move Cabrera. He's going to move over to third base. And if he does score, it'll be an unearned run. Not that it matters at this point for the Cubs. But now it is a 10-1 ball game. And Mike Lowell, the batter, and it doesn't seem to matter who the Cubs bring in. They can't get anybody out. So let's see what Lowell does. Still only 1 out, by the way. 2-4. A 2-4 is a ground ball, shortstop A. So we finally get a double play. No, it's not a double play. I take that back. There was runners on second and third. So ground ball, shortstop A. The infield would have been in. So let's check the advancement on an infield in for ground ball A. Ground ball A says runners, if no runners are forced, they have to hold. So it is a 6-3 ground out for Lowell. Out number 2. I got excited. I think they might get a double play to get out of the inning. Now we have Jeff Conine. There are finally 2 outs. And now Conine steps to the plate. It's a 5-5, and a 5-5 is a strikeout. So Veras finally gets out of it. He did give up the double to bring in a run there, but so let's see what 4 runs were allowed by Al Fonseca in that inning. And 2 runs were allowed, I believe, by, or maybe 3 runs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There were 7 runs total for the Marlins. So after 5.5, it is the Marlins 10 and the Cubs 1. Okay, bottom of the 6th. This is not going the way I hoped it would be for a video to do a close game. However, in the actual Bartman game, in the 8th inning, the Marlins did score 7 runs. In this game, they did it in the 6th without any interference from a fan. So maybe the mojo was still there. So let's see. Lofton to lead things off for the Cubs, finally, who get to bat. It's a 6-9 off Pavano, and that is a split chance. 1-3 is a triple, 4-20 is a double. So we get a double here. So actually, that wasn't Lofton. I take that back. It was Grudzielanek that should have been batting. Grudzielanek should have been batting on that. So it was not a split chance. Let's repeat or reverse here. the 6-9 for a right-hander is a double. So Grzelcyk doubles because Pavano off the right-hander did not have a split chance. He just had a straight double. So Grzelcyk doubles, 1 out, and that'll bring up Sammy Sosa. Sosa, a 1-4. 1-4 is a fly ball to center field, but we do have the ballpark effect check because of the upside down triangle. So a 1-2 means he gets a hit. He does not. It's a 13, which means that is a line out to short for out number 1. Sosa is down, and now Moises Alou will get to bat. And Alou, it's a 5-9. A 5-9 is a split chance off Pavano. 1-8 is a home run. 9-20 is a double. It's a 19, so it's a double. It's a double, so Alou's double will score Grzelcyk, who just doubled. And the Cubs finally put a run on the board to only trail now by 10-2. They always say game's never over at Wrigley or Fenway, but I'm not sure about this one. All right, Ramirez, the batter. 6-9, 6-9, and a 6-9 is a double because we just had that roll not that long ago. It's a double to left field. So Ramirez doubles, and that will bring in Alou to cut the lead to 10-3. So the Cubs trying to fight back here. It's 10-3, and now Randall Simon, the batter, first baseman, lefty, against Pavano. It's a 3-4, and a 3-4 is another ballpark check. It's originally a pop out, but if it's a 1-2, he might get a single here. And he does. It's a single. So Simon with a single. Ramirez will stop at third base, being down by so many runs. We're not going to take a chance. But the ballpark effect does come into play there and give Simon a base hit. And now we have Alex, the other Gonzalez, Alex S. Gonzalez. I'm sorry, nope, Paul Bacco. No, it is Gonzalez. Okay, I was getting confused here. It is Gonzalez, Bacco to follow. So here's Gonzalez. It's a 6-8. A 6-8 is a fly ball to right field B. Fly ball to right field B, it says runner on third scores, others hold. So it's a sacrifice fly for Gonzalez. That will bring home Ramirez, who was at third on the sac fly. There are 2 outs, but a third run does come across. So it is a CB Radio 10-4 good buddy ball game right now. 10-4. And now we've got Paul Bacco. Paul Bacco, it's a 5-8. And a 5-8 is a ground ball to second base to end the inning. And that was certainly a lengthy inning. So the 6th inning was certainly interesting. 10 total runs scored, 7 by the Marlins, 3 by the Cubs. After 6 complete, it's the Cubs trailing the Marlins 10-4. Okay, guys, I came back late from a commercial, as they say. Alex Gonzalez leading off. I've already rolled, and the roll is a 4-12, and a 4-12 on Veras. 4-12 against right-handed pitching, or right-handed hitting, is a diamond check for the ballpark, which is the home run ballpark effect. So Wrigley Field, that's where will come into play as far as home runs go. As we go up to Wrigley Field, home run, right-handed batter, 1-15 is a home run. Left-handed batter is only 1-6, but home run for right-handed batter 1-15. So if Alex Gonzalez rolls a 1-15, this will be a home run. And he rolls a 15. So the out now, the fly ball to left now, actually becomes a home run for Alex Gonzalez, the original Alex Gonzalez. And the Marlins now lead it 11-4. Now, the pitcher spot, Pavano, is up, but he has pitched 6 innings and reached his point of weakness. So now we have Todd Hollinsworth to lead things off, or to pinch hit, rather. Todd Hollinsworth, and if anybody has XM radio like I do, he has a radio show with Steve Phillips in the morning, and enjoy listening to that. So Todd Hollinsworth, extraordinary pinch hitter, steps up. It's a 3-7 for for Hollingsworth. A 3-7 against right-handed pitching is a double. His 3 column is good. It's a double for Todd Hollingsworth. So he gets a pinch hit double. Now that brings up Juan Pierre. It's a 3-6. 3-6 for Pierre is a fly ball to left field B. So there's one away. Make it the one away now here in the 7th. One away. And that'll bring up Luis Castillo. And Hollingsworth held at second on that play. Here's Castillo. It's a 6-5. 6-5 is a strikeout. So Castillo down on strikes for out number 2. And now that will bring up Pudge Rodriguez. Pudge Rodriguez with 2 outs and Hollingsworth still sitting at second base. Here is the pitch. It is a 3-11. A 3-11 is another ballpark chance. You see Rodriguez, his number 3 card, number 11, is the ballpark chance. So again, a 1 through 15 will be a home run. Anything else, and it's a fly ball to left. So we'll see what happens here. It is a 13, so the wind must be blowing out because Rodriguez just went deep. A 2-run shot. And any thoughts of a Cub comeback have quickly faded. It is now 2 home runs in the inning have blown this thing even further open. It is now a score of 13-4, and Miguel Cabrera the batter. It's a 5-6. 5-6 is a split chance. 1-15 is a double. Anything else is a single. And it's a double. So Cabrera doubles, and Veras is just being left out there to take one for the team, as they say, because he is scheduled to lead off the next inning. So they want to get him out of this inning and then pinch hit for him. Here's Derek Lee. Lee is a 1-4, and a 1-4 is a ground ball to short to finally end the inning. But 3 runs come across, 2 of them on homers, and we go to the 7th inning stretch. It's the Marlins 13 and the Cubs 4. New pitcher for the Cubs here in the 8th is Kyle Farnsworth. He will start off facing Mike Lowell. It's a 6-8. 6-8 is a strikeout. So Farnsworth gets Lowell for the first out. And that will bring up the left fielder, Jeff Conine. Conine, 4-7. A 4-7 is a walk. So a rare walk in this game. That's one thing we haven't had a lot of, is walks. So we get one here. And that'll bring up the original Alex Gonzalez. It's a 1-10. A 1-10. Ground ball third base A. That is going to be another double play. So 5-4, 4-3, double play. Innings over. And Farnsworth actually gets the Marlins out. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 13-4. Sammy Sosa to lead off the bottom of the 8th. It's a 5-12. 5-12 off of Spoony Barger's card is a ground ball second base X. Ground ball second base X. Castillo is a 1 in the range rating, so that's the best you can get. So it's a roll of a 9. A 1-9 is out of the range, so we go to the error range, which is an error rating, which is an 11. So we roll the 2d6s for an E11 check, and we get an 11. And E11, number 11, is simply a ground ball A. So there's the first out of the inning. Sosa is out 4-3. That'll bring up Moises Alou. 4-7 off of Spoony Barger is a strikeout. So there's 2 down. And that brings up Randall Simon. And that's a 6-4. 6-4 is a ground ball shortstop X. Ground ball shortstop X. So we'll check Gonzalez's rating off this D20 roll. D20 roll is an 8, so we don't need the error rating. We actually need, we don't need the range rating. We actually need the error rating. And the error rating for Mr. Gonzalez is an 18. So he's got an error rating 18, and the roll is a 7. E18, a 7. Comes out to be a ground ball A. So the inning is over. After 8 complete, it's still 13-4. Out of time, guys. 13-4 final.